What would happen if everyone on Earth jumped at the same time? As kids, we used to play all sorts of games. Some of them were silly, some were creative, and many would make absolutely no sense whatsoever to our adult minds. There was one game that involved jumping. Kids used to stand in a circle holding each other's hands and jumping together. The one who did not jump at exactly the same time as the others would be disqualified. As we grow, these activities seem a bit too strange to perform, particularly in a public place. But think for a moment about what would happen if all the humans on Earth played this game at the same time. What if everyone stood close together and jumped at the exactly same time? As of now, almost 7.5 billion people live on the planet Earth. When you look at that figure, it's just a number, right? Well, if we're talking about making all the people on the planet stand next to each other, jamming into each other so that the entire gathering forms a solid chunk of population, it would be madness. That would require convincing every one of them to stand together and jump at the same time. Assuming that all 7.35 billion humans stood next to each other, an area of 500 square miles would be entirely filled with people. That means a compact area equivalent to the size of Los Angeles. Now that we have assumed the possibility of convincing everyone to stand together and making them jump simultaneously, let's come to the real question. What would happen? Simply nothing. I know that sounds pretty disappointing following that build-up and all the talk about a Los Angeles-sized chunk of humans, but that's the reality. 7 billion people is an impressive number, but we're talking about affecting an entire planet. Although it might seem quite dramatic if every human on Earth jumped at the same time, meaning that all human mass would be leaving the Earth momentarily, but the Earth won't even notice. Because even that much mass is nothing compared to the mass of the planet. This type of simultaneous jumping would move the planet an infinitesimally small amount. In fact, the movement would be so small that you wouldn't even realize that it moved at all. The distance of the planet's movement would be less than the width of the most basic atom, hydrogen. And furthermore, when everyone landed back on the ground, Earth would return to the same place. This means that by the time anyone took a calculation after landing on their feet, they wouldn't be able to detect any difference from the way things were before. After all, would you try this experiment?